I take this opportunity to welcome you all. First time in my life I'm doing such an interaction. I never did all through my life. So I entered into cinema in 1996. I think my first film got released 96, close to 28 to 29 years. I never had the reason to interact. Always I believe that if you do a good work, it should give the right outcome. Especially being in politics, I feel it is a bit awkward to talk about cinema, because in politics is a service which I committed to do. I'm committed to do it. When it comes to cinema, it's promoting your cinema is unlike other actors, I feel it like a sin. My job is to do to play my role well, to make sure things are good while doing itself. Rest leave it to destiny. That's what I've been trained. This particular film, I wanted to go to each and every individual. That is my intention. And also about the hardships I had gone through in bringing this film together, bring this film out. This film is all about Kohinoor diamond. Kohinoor diamond has been found in one of our mines from Kolluru, which is 60 to 70 kilometers from where we are sitting today. The origin of Kolluru diamond, the Kohinoor diamond, is from the state of Andhra Pradesh, 60 to 70 kilometers from the place where we are sitting right now. And how Kuli Qutub Shah took it, reached Kuli Qutub Shah. From Kuli Qutub Shah it went to Mughals. And I know from Mughals where it went to, now it is in London. So when the director Krish came to me in 2018-19, I think, he said, what if Kohinoor diamond, when it is during the Aurangzeb era, when he was ruling, what if someone from Kolluru or this part of India goes all the way to Delhi and steals that Kohinoor diamond right from Peacock Throne? And I find it that I like the high concept. It's an impossible task. Aurangzeb is a very tyrannical ruler. Under his tyranny, entire country is suffering. Let it be jizya, let it be, if you look at the entire script, when they narrated to me, three things really got pointed out. The one is the exploitation of resources. And second is cultural invasion. Third is how people stood out against the tyranny. And all three are very relevant even now. So I felt good about committing for this film, doing this film. And sometimes we have to understand the history, because history keeps on repeating itself. So I felt that part has to be taken. I want this film to reach out as much as it should. Because the one major part of the film is about jizya. For being a Hindu, you have to pay tax. And the task would be given for the hero, the main protagonist called Veera Mallu, who will be a mysterious robber who appears, a kind of Robin Hood. And he will be given the task to make sure by Kuli Qutub Shah, this is not about Hindus versus Muslims. This is not about which religion is, which dharma is superior. It is about a common man against a tyrannical ruler. So how the Kuli Qutub Shah gives him assignment for this guy and goes all the way to Delhi, how he got the diamond back or something, this is the crux of in one line I have to say the story. The first part, though it is a 4.5 hour screenplay, so finally as we are making the film, we have understood it would take too long. So that's why we split into two parts. The first part confines the travel from the finding of the discovery of the Kohinoor diamond And from there till the hero and his team reaches out to the outskirts of Delhi. This is how the first part. So what we had explored many things. It's a more of a wholesome entertainer. It is not about stoking the dark tensions. It is not about to stoke communal tensions. It's not about one religion against another religion. It is nothing to do with contemporary politics or nothing. It is more about to reclaim the property what has been stolen from here. That's how it starts with. It ends with, for being a Hindu, you have to pay tax. So always we tried the idea as we were studying in school. Mughals were more glorified than anybody else in this country. Mughals ruled only for 200 plus years, or 20, 30 years. But whereas Vijayanagara kings have ruled for 400 years. If you look at Chalukyas, if you look at what each and Ahoms in Assam, they ruled for a longer time. But they were never glorified. I think sometimes through this kind of cinema, to reintroduce the history, the forgotten history, and all the crimes of Aurangzeb had been whitewashed. And that part will be also explored in the film. And I feel this is a film which would reach out to that part, to undo, sometimes you want to go back into the history, to undo that part. Gatanloki velli, mano idi jarakunda unte bagundi, we feel like fighting. I think that cinematic experience, going back into the Aurangzeb times, I personally felt when I was studying in school, when he said jizya tax been levied on a Hindu for being a Hindu, sometimes we always feel what I would have been there, if I go back in time, like what we could do, how would I have reacted. I think this film gives that experience, especially the climax part. So that's how we have enjoyed the making of this film, and the Mughals' tyranny has been shown in the film. How he killed Hara, how he imprisoned his father. And all these things are subplots in the film. The main plot is about stealing the Kohinoor from the journey, how to take Kohinoor from. This is how it starts. So this is the plot, and it made with a good budget. And especially we had faced 2 corona situations. And after that, here I have to face personally, I have to face the most tyrannical government here, most ruthless government while making this film. And we fought against it. That's why I could not do the film in last year. So that is also one of the reasons for the delay. And finally, when I became the Deputy Chief Minister, I didn't have time, but only once in every morning, after 6 months, after I taken charge as Deputy Chief Minister, morning from 7 to 9 and sometimes late night from 9 to 11, when all my official duties are over, I had dedicated certain few hours and I had finished the film. I think we did our best. We had given our best. I think I seek all your support, and I seek all your, the message should go. And this is a wholesome entertainer, and whatever you wanted to ask few questions, I would like to take it. I'm glad.
Sir, Sai sir from Suman TV. Actually, Pawan Kalyan gar peru, Pawan Kalyan gar swag, Pawan Kalyan gar style ద్వారా కొన్ని వందల సినిమాలు ప్రమోషన్ అయ్యి హిట్లు కూడా అయ్యాయి. అలాంటి పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారు మొట్టమొదటిసారిగా ఆయన సినిమాకి ఆయనే ప్రమోషన్కి వచ్చారు. ఇది చాలా ఆశ్చర్యంగా ఉంది అందరికీ కూడా. సో సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్ సార్, యాక్చువల్గా హరిహర వీరమల్లులో పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారే, ఉస్తాద్ భగత్ సింగ్లో కూడా పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారే. బట్ ఓజీ జస్ట్ ఒక గ్లిమ్స్ వచ్చిన ఆ ఒక్క దానికి వచ్చిన రెస్పాన్స్ కానీ హైప్ కానీ ఈ 2 సినిమాలకి ఎందుకు రాలేదనుకుంటున్నారు?
Each film has its own unique, and each film, ప్రతి సినిమాకి ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే దాని యూనిక్ పొజిషనింగ్ ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. It will find its own way. When I did certain films, why when some films get the hype, why other film doesn't know? This film has a lot to, because this film is underrated. Because in contemporary times we are more prone to violence. We like more grey shades. The true hero for me is a Dhiro Dattudu. You know what is that? A true hero, for me it is a very textbook hero for me. For me, Rama is the hero, Krishna is the hero. So I want my heroes to be like that. But contemporary times, we like heroes with grey shades. Someone who is not too picture perfect. One who's got a lot of negative shades. I think the contemporary psyche of the society is more into grey. People have become more grey than black and white. I think that's one reason. But any good film, if it is narrated, if it is conveyed properly, once you get into the film and if you see the experience of it, I think you'll get it later. That's what I feel personally. And frankly speaking, I assume myself as a regional actor. I never confined Mansmurtiya. I confined myself for Telugu films. I never opted for Tamil. I never opted for Hindi. Because my comfort zone is, or my area of working is, I felt more comfortable in Andhra or more of confined to Telugu film industry. But I can share an experience with you. The size of Telugu cinema, how it went. I did one of my film called Bangaram. I went to Israel in 2007 or I think around before 2010. Suddenly, I went to Israel, I went to some Indian restaurant in Jerusalem. Suddenly I had seen some Palestinian gentleman was looking at me. I thought he's going to attack me, whatever. I was thinking, I was having different thoughts. But he said, "Are you Pawan Kalyan?" I said, "Yeah, how do you know?" I was the least expected area. Imagine in Jerusalem. I said, "I keep watching your films in ZTV." Then I realized, okay, Telugu films are being dubbed into Hindi. Till then, my producers never told me because maybe I might ask more money. So they never told me. So for me, I think the great part of our country right now is the boundaries have been wiped out from regional cinema. There is no cinema of Telugu or Tamil. It is Bharatiya film, cinema. I'm very glad it is not about money. It is about the cultural integration happen. We are accepting cinema from South. Always cinema, Hindi cinema is always accepted in the southern parts of India. I'm a big fan of Amitabh Bachchan. I'm a big fan of, I used to really admire Jackie Shroff when his Hero was released. And I used to like all Hindi old songs, Kishore Kumar, everything. But post 90s or post 2000, especially from 2010 onwards, I don't know about political leaders. The people of India, people of Bharat, they have really integrated through cinema. And the barriers of South, North, everything have been wiped out. It came out, no matter good cinema is there, we're going to accept it, we're going to receive it. And the adoration and the love which is being shown on, especially from actors of South, it quite amazes me. I'm truly, truly grateful, not in terms as an actor, not in terms of because I'm an actor, I'm saying. For me, I felt more than the political leaders, it is the art which is integrating India more than the political leadership itself. That's what I feel extremely great. And I'm fortunate, I'm a part of that, both the worlds, both politics and cinema. And this film, I think, will do the needful, it will enhance that integration more. That's what I feel.
Sir, Meena Sundaram from Chennai. Sir.
Hara రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా అందరూ చూస్తున్నారు. మీరు 10 సంవత్సరాలు ప్రభుత్వాన్ని పరిపాలిస్తాం, 10 సంవత్సరాలు మీరు తప్పితే రాము అనే ప్రభుత్వాన్ని చెప్పి పడగొట్టారు. ఈ సినిమాలో కూడా నేను రావాలని కోరుకుంటున్నారు, పొక్కుతున్నారు, కొంతమంది రాకూడదు అనుకుంటున్నారు. వీరమ్మలు చెప్పింది వినాలి అంటున్నారు. మీకు ముందే తెలుస్తుంది సక్సెస్ డెఫినెట్గా. ఈ మాటతో డెఫినెట్గా సినిమా చరిత్రలో నిలిచిపోతుందని చాలామంది అనుకుంటున్నారు.
If it happens, well and good. But I personally feel, I think we have given our best. Because I conceived the last Jizya part and the action sequence. And most of our people who came from elsewhere parts of the country, let me tell you, I'm a trained martial artist. And I used to do my own action choreography. And I'm also a screenplay writer. I used to contribute for my cinema. That's why I'm so tired of doing 7 films. It likes an experience of 70 films. I burned myself. So after a long time, amidst this political feud, what I was going through then, and the political load and cinematic load, and also the additional I took charge as for the climax part, I want, when dharma is being taking a hit, a particular situation is in, so much of injustice keeps happening right in front of your eyes. There will be groups of people, like tons of people will be there around, but no one responds unless someone comes forward. So that kind of situation is there in the cinema, and which would talks about dharma. When your dharma is being violated, don't sit idle. Take an action. That is one element of this film, which I'm happy that I could take that idea forward in this film. And when మీరు అడిగినట్టుగా డైలాగ్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే, I don't mix politics and cinema. For me, politics, whatever I wanted to do, I am more committed and I'm more mad in opposing the real life thugs in politics. In cinema, I do less. So that's why I want cinema to be always a wholesome entertainer, never to link with politics. That's what I believe in. So, but certain words, certain dialogues might match up with what is happening in my personal life, as you rightly quoted, Mirannadhaniki. But apart from that, I hope this film becomes, with all your support and blessings, this film reaches out to the wider audience. I would be more happy. And frankly speaking, this film has, very strangely, I had gone through such experiences in my life. You know, all of you know that I don't say I'm a big star or something, but I know I'm quite popular. That's all I know. When I opted for politics, in Rajikiyalloki vachin tarvata, there were times when I want to do a film, no one is there to narrate a story to me, because this guy is in politics, we can't trust him anymore. So people stop telling stories to me. People stop coming to me to make me part of the film. Even the very financiers whom I supported, నేను ఎవరైతే సపోర్ట్ చేశానో, నా సినిమాకి ఫైనాన్స్ కూడా ఇవ్వలేదు నాకు. దట్స్ ద ప్రైజ్ ఐ పెయిడ్ ఫర్ బీయింగ్ ఇన్ పాలిటిక్స్. So that kind of difficulties also had gone into this. Its only thing is, we want, the slogan is the dharma, battle for dharma. So when you try to uphold dharma, when you do battle for dharma, you go through all the turbulence. In fact, I had gone through turbulence for this film, even in a financial way. So finally, it was a bit challenging for us even to release this film. Apart from being, I'm widely known in the entire country, but when it comes to cinema, I was not able to compete with other actors. Because they're professionals. For me, I have chosen my passion for politics, passion for my country, passion for our society, passion for the dharma has costed my professional life, which is a burden for me. So that's why this film, I said to the producers, I said, you don't have to pay me money. That's okay if you don't pay me money. In fact, I supported from other aspects to get this film released. My only intention is not about making money. It is about taking this film as widely as possible, as wide reach it could get. That's the deal. And what do I get in return is, I want people who in this message of this film and the content of this film should be able to reach, and especially during Mughal times, what we had gone through. The concept of jizya, because history keeps on repeating itself. Unless we understand the history, we cannot correct the past. I think that one aspect really helps this film. So I want this message to go across. That's why I seek your help and I sought your support. That's why I have called you. And since morning I've been doing it, and still I have to go back to Hyderabad right now. And I have to make sure the film gets the process of distribution goes well. And first time being a Deputy Chief Minister, I never did this in my life. Not that I don't want to. నా పరిస్థితి ఎలా ఉండేదంటే సినిమాకి వచ్చిన కొత్తలో when I entered into cinema, no one used to put my photograph. Because you are a newcomer, okay, of course you're Chiranjeevi brother, so what? So I tasted success without any publicity. That's why I never sought publicity in my life. I always believe, like, I'm a follower of Gita, and thanks for giving Gita. किसने दिया आपको? आपने दिया. आपका शुभ नाम? आशुतोष दुबे. आप किधर से? मुंबई से. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Because I follow Gita a lot. Because do your duty, rest leave it to higher consciousness. आप बिहार से, आपका शुभ नाम?
और सर आपके नाम में लिखा हुआ है बैटल फॉर धर्म।
हाँ.
मीन्स कि हम धर्म में लड़ने वाले, यानी कि धर्मो रक्षित रक्षित। अगर हम धर्म की लड़ाई करते हैं तो धर्म हमारी रक्षा करता है। और आपने एक बहुत सुंदर वर्णन किया औरंगजेब के बारे में। लास्ट डे जब प्रधानमंत्री से बात करने का, तो उन्होंने एक वाक्य कहा था कि काशी की खला जाती, मथुरा मस्जिद बनती और छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज ना होते तो सुन्नत हो सकती। तो ये इतिहास है और आपके इस मूवी के अंदर इतिहास का वर्णन है। लेकिन जब मैंने इतिहास के बारे में बात की तो हम लोग के ऊपर केसेस हो गए और पुलिस औरंगजेब के अगेंस्ट बात करने से केस कर देती है। तो क्या इस मूवी की वजह से हमें वो फ्रीडम मिल पाएगा कि हम औरंगजेब या मुगल के बारे में ओपनली उतना डायरेक्ट बात कर सके कि या वो इंडिया के हीरो नहीं बल्कि इंडिया के हीरो हमारे छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज हैं और इतिहास है। तो औरंगजेब के विरोध में मूवी बन रही है, तो बच्चों को इतिहास पढ़ाया जाएगा वैसे ही जिस तरीके से हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
Yeah, I tell you, I want to talk about language also. So Hindi is our identity. Hindi is our language, like Tamil, Telugu, everything. The sad part is, I'm conversing in English about a culture. If it would have been Hindi easily, or for you it is in more of a Telugu or Tamil, so that's how the integration happens. But nevertheless, no matter whichever language we speak, either in English, but our heart is pure, filled with Bharatita, full with Dharma. So for me, I thank you for bringing out this. We are scared to speak about tyranny. We are scared to talk about twisted history. Who wrote all this history? Why 200 years of Mughals been glorified? Why not the rest of the dynasties? Who withstood the invasion? Right from Maharana. How come we don't talk about Haldi Ghati of Rana Pratap? The problem is that who wrote the textbooks? Who wrote our syllabus? Who wrote our history? They are very biased. So nowadays these kind of cinemas should come. It should not end with Hari Hari Veera Mallu. We have to rewrite the history again with the real, what exactly happened. I think this is one of the aspects which we can explore in the cinema. Now you have the opportunity which would be seen in the film, the tyranny of Aurangzeb. And till now, no one talks about jizya. There were times to be a Hindu, you had to pay tax. And to make it as a cinema, we cannot do it cinema. No. But the times have changed. As an artistic, and even to conceive this particular sequence, people are scared in our own film industry, in our own producers. I said, will it create any tension? For why? This is the history. We want to hush up our history. I said, we are not stroking any tensions or nothing, but we are portraying. So as a filmmaker, as an actor, as a responsible citizen of this nation, and also I am part of the government, I made sure it doesn't stoke any tensions. It will give you the very objective approach to it. What exactly happened, that's what has been portrayed. And that too, this is a fictitious thing. But the situation is different, but a hero character is a fictitious character. I think all this kind of, for people, individuals like you who believe in this, I think this would give a greater platform to communicate. Thank you.
Sir, one
சார்
question.
படம் வந்து கோயினூர் வைரத்தை பற்றி பேசுது. கோயினூர் வைரம் ஆந்திராவுக்கு சொந்தமானது நீங்கள் சொல்லிட்டீங்க. இப்போ வந்து லண்டனில் இருக்குது. நீங்கள் வந்து இப்போ ஹீரோ மாத்திரம் இல்லை, பொலிட்டிஷியனாக இருக்கீங்க, சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் கூட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்பாக இருக்கீங்க. லீகலாக அங்கேருந்து நம்ம சொத்து நம்மளுக்கே வரதுக்கு நீங்கள் வாய்ப்பு கொடுப்பீங்களா? ஒன்று. ரெண்டாவது, அவுரங்கசீப்பை பற்றி இந்த படம் பேசுது. சமீப காலமாக மகாராஷ்டிராவில் இருக்க அவுரங்கசீப்போட நினைவிடத்தை வந்து டெமாலிஷ் பண்ணணும், ரிமூவ் பண்ணணுங்காங்க. உங்களோட பர்சனல் ஒப்பீனியன் என்ன அதை பற்றி?
One is, I think, நீங்கள் சொல்கிறது என்னென்னா, to get the diamond back, from Kohinoor. I think how any idea starts with, how salt satyagraha starts. Someone want to pay a tax on your salt, and it's I'm denying it. So it's always starts with a very small idea. An idea starts in a small, simple room between 2-3 minds. So when so many minds are together collectively, I think once if you start with all your connectivity and all, like I think we should all spark a debate. Should Kohinoor should be brought back to India or not? I think if this film could spark the debate, I would be more than happy. And the second is about Aurangzeb thing. See, we can't undo history. My personal feeling is you cannot undo history.
Sir,
But we should not repeat those mistakes. There's no point in desecrating, there's no point in damaging his his burial site. There's no point in doing it. But we have to remember what had been done to the audience. In that way, we keep alert. That is what I wanted to say. Yes, ma'am, you can say.
हर हर महादेव सर, मेरा नाम ओशन है, मैं राजस्थान से आई हूँ. और
आप किधर से मैम?
ओशन जैन राजस्थान.
राजस्थान से.
हाँ जी
The land of Rana Pratap Singh.
सर, जब भी सनातन पर मूवी बनती है, अभिनेता का रोल और भी जिम्मेदारी से भर जाता है, क्योंकि जो भी दर्शक हैं उनकी जो भावनाएं हैं वो काफ़ी आहत हो जाती है. तो ऐसे में आपके लिए सबसे चैलेंजिंग चीज़ क्या रही मूवी के अंदर, और आप सबसे ज़्यादा किस बात में कनेक्ट कर पाए? मतलब आप कहाँ पे कनेक्ट कर पाए ज़्यादा? किस सीन से आप ज़्यादा कनेक्ट कर पाए?
Too much of message is a bad thing. Because for me, I don't believe in messaging directly. It should be, you go for a film for an experience, to forget the fears, to forget all our day-to-day headaches. But at the same time, for me, film is an edutainment, education plus entertainment together. I think this film does that. The challenging part would be, as you Saraya said, to realize the thought which is penned on the page. हम लिखेंगे, but लेकिन how to realize it to make it an actuality. And that is a challenging. I think all through this film, we had gone through each and every situation. We had gone through how to realize it, right from editing, right from the conception, right from shooting, till the edit. Even this second also, I'm quite aware, okay, we might do the greatest job, but by the time it reaches to our audience, even including the sound levels are right or not, we have to look into it. I think every day, everything is a challenge. Thank you. Namaskar, ma'am. Thank you. अब दोनों साथ मिलके आएंगे. It didn't start with that idea. In film, it doesn't start with that. It starts with getting diamond back. But in the process, we understand how he's been surrounded. Right from, we didn't show the demolition of temples, but desecration of certain things will be there. But it is not glorified, it is not to stoke tensions or something. But definitely we feel that. And throughout the film, it is entertaining, but a part of your subconsciousness is always communicating or educating you. This is what exactly happened in certain part of our history. And that's what I can tell you. That.
Most challenging and emotional scene from your movie?
For me, it is climax. It is the most difficult. It is not an action climax. It is not just an action climax. सिर्फ लड़ाई की बात नहीं. It is about how do we communicate an idea. And I want it to be realistic. It is not something, falling, jump around 20 feet and hit. It's not that. It should be realistic. If one of us caught up in a fight, who has a little martial arts expertise, imagine around 100 people come and attack you, or 20, 30 people attack you. How do you defend yourself? I don't want it to be cinematic. I don't want it to be, actually he's superhuman. No. I want him to be as human as possible, as heroic as possible. And at the same time, I want it to be inspiring while watching it. And how do you stoke a revolution? If I'm fighting, if all of you should fight, something has to happen, you also to get back into action. That is the climax. So I think that part to achieve it, because I had done what I had to do, I don't know who is going to judge, but certainly my friend Mr. Trivikram, who is a senior director and screenwriter, he was the first person to tell me the climax is good. So that is the most difficult and challenging part. I'm glad that would reach out to people. Because both are mass mediums, Cinema entertains you. If I don't do cinema, nothing happens. But if I don't get into politics, something bad would have happened. I feel more contented because to do in cinema, it's very easy. In 2.5 hours, I can create, I can make him a villain, I can make him a hero, he's my supporter, I can do everything. But in real life, it's not like that. The most challenging is, in cinema, you can hit a villain easily. But in real life, it's so tough in politics. I'm glad that I opted for politics, I stood for my convictions I believed in, and I feel any given, but nevertheless, I don't undermine cinema. Cinema is the one which communicates in the form of stories. Stories are needed for us to inspire us. In fact, a lot of stories which I have read inspired me to be what I am today. So I don't deny cinema, but my first option is real life.
This is related to cinema industry problems, not about this Telugu film industry, that entire Indian film industry facing the problem. మీరు అన్నారు చూసారా, నేను సినిమా తీయాలంటే ఒక యుద్ధమే చేయాలని. రియల్ అగ్రీ విత్ యూ సార్. నేను దాసరి గారి దగ్గర ఉన్నప్పటి నుంచి కూడా చూస్తున్నా, ఒక ప్రొడ్యూసరు స్క్రిప్ట్కి పూజ చేసిన రోజు దగ్గర నుంచి ల్యాబ్లోంచి స్క్రిప్ట్ అది ప్రింట్ బయటకు వచ్చే వరకు కూడా ఎన్ని కష్టాలు పడతాడన్నది అందరూ చూస్తున్నాం సార్. అది వచ్చిన తర్వాత థియేటర్లోకి ఇంకా రాకుండానే, థియేటర్లో షో పడకుండానే ప్రీమియర్ షో రివ్యూస్ అని స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు, సినిమాని కిల్ చేసేస్తున్నారు, ఏదో విధంగా కష్టాలు పడి. సినిమా వచ్చిన తర్వాత ట్విట్టర్ రివ్యూ.
That's what I'm saying. You have to achieve, like sir, you have to wage a battle. Nothing comes out easily, no. Even a simple meal, you have to fight a battle for it. So for me, let us get up for a battle. People will say things. How do we come out? That's what we stand for. Because for me, if I would have been a scary guy, if I would have been a timid guy, I'm not a darpoke.
Sir, మీరు ఫేస్ అయ్యారు సార్. ప్రతి ఇండస్ట్రీలో కూడా
No, that's how we had to come out. Why people say that మనం అట్లా అనకూడదు. మనం ఏంటంటే మనం చేయాల్సింది, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేసినా కానీ ఇదే భయాలు, మీరు చెప్పిన భయాలు నేను ఉంటాయి. Do you think we could have brought down this government of 151 seats to 11 seats? No. What you need is mad commitment, mad belief in yourself. When we could do for the politicals, why can't we do it for the cinema? Cinema is, when compared, it's more easier.
మీరు చాలా కాలం తర్వాత సినిమా ఇస్తున్నారు, చాలా కాలంగా వెయిటింగ్. అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఒప్పుకున్న సినిమాని కంప్లీట్ చేసి మళ్ళీ రిటర్న్ వాళ్ళకి అవుతారా? అప్పుడు సినిమాని ఇస్తూ ఉంటారా?
My commitment is for politics. If I had to choose between cinema and politics, I always choose politics. But
స్టార్ట్ అయ్యారు, అది సపరేట్ క్యారెక్టర్. తర్వాత రాయర్గా, పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్గా గబ్బర్ సింగ్, వకీల్ సాబ్ చూసాం. ఇది ఒక డిఫరెంట్ క్యారెక్టర్. ఏ క్యారెక్టర్ బాగా ఎంజాయ్ చేశారు?
Every character I do, a part of will be there. But in Harihar Veeramallu, the climax part is me. Thank you, Jai Hind.